Hey there everyone, welcome back to GameVine, and my name is Dave, and today we are diving back into the world of Dice Masters. I know, I'm super excited. Now, we just did a review for DC Justice League, and I wanted to stay in chronological order as the sets came out, but I'm going to have to jump one time and make an exception for the Dice Master set that I have today, which is Turtle Power. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Dice Master set. Now, this is a bit different from the rest of the Dice Master sets that came out. There are no gravity feeds, and everything you need to play up to 4 players comes right inside this collector style box. Orc Warriors, the one that came before Dice Masters and inspired it, it kind of looks like that. But again, you're not going to have to spend the time and money to go out and buy a gravity feed to get super rares and buy a starter set. You get everything you need, again, to play up to 4 players right here, which means it's not going to come with a whole bunch of cards, but it's going to come with enough to start a game. So this is basically a standalone, but you can incorporate it into the other worlds of Dice Masters if you want. But I just wanted to preview this one instead of going in order because WizKids sent this one to me, and I think this takes a different step into the Dice Master. So why not let me show you what comes in this box and how this changes the world of Dice Masters, and then we'll get to the other reviews later. So let's now talk about the Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. Let's go. Alright, so let's get into this box to show you what it's all about. It's designed after collector boxes that they've made in the past, but again, this is a standalone set, and I think a great progression to give Dice Masters a new flavor. Some people just want to have everything, and I might be one of those players, and I think this is a good step to go towards. It's going to come with the manual, of course, and it's going to come with 4 of these, so you can play up to 4 players if you don't have a kind of system to keep a reference in front of. And then it's going to come with 4 different bags, 1 of each color of the turtles, and again, this is for all 4 players if you have that many. You haven't seen the bags be any other color than red or blue, and I'm sorry, they do start to progress in the later sets. You're going to see that soon, but this is the first taste that you get, and they're done solid. I love it, actually. So now the bags are not a worry. Then you have all the basic dice that you normally comes with it. It comes with 4 sets of 8 dice sidekicks, so 4 players can play, and then 4 different color basic dice. 1 of every turtle's color. I think, of course, why not stick with that theme? Purple, orange, blue, and red. Then you have the dice. You get 3 of every character dice here. You get every one of the turtles, and they're done nicely. I love these. Are some of my favorite dice to come along so far. Vibrant, pretty clear, and they're green, so why not? And then you have a whole bunch of other dice, like the villain. Got Shredder here. He's pretty easy to read. And then you have that little robot guy. I can't remember what he is. And then you have Splinter. Actually, Splinter is in the game twice, but I'll get into that a little later. You got Bebop right there. I think this is Rocksteady, and or vice versa. Casey Jones comes onto the scene as well, and the Foot. This is the only dice that I don't like because it is kind of hard to read. Because the dark blue and the red. But beyond that, I love the color scheme that they went with here. Oh yeah, Crank. And so that is what comes in the box, basically, other than the cards. But you also get this nice tray that holds everything into place. Though if you store them like up horizontally like this, they might fall out pretty easy. So I don't know, keep them down flat if you're going to store this. So now that you see how the storage system goes and what comes in this box, let's go over some cards right now. But first, I did want to show off this little collector's bag that WizKids also send with this copy. So if you want to get fancy and get even a better bag, you can purchase this through them as well. So let's get into those cards. Alright, so the first of the basic action cards I'm going to show you is pizza. Why I want to show you pizza, other than the fact that you have to have pizza in the Turtles universe, is that it's only 1 energy to buy. You gain 1 life. It's very simple, but that's a first for me on the basic action cards. This one here, Special Delivery, is my favorite. You draw 2 dice and just roll them. I love rolling dice in this game, so it lets me do that even more. As you can see, the art is kind of comic book driven, but they also draw some from the cartoon, as you can see the turtle van here. So they don't pigeonhole themselves into one style. Why? You have the license, let's do what we can with it. This one here is continuous. You basically send a dice to the use pile and prevent all damage from blocking characters. Continuous is the first on an actual basic card, so that's cool. Cowabunga, that's another cartoon card. This adds Overcrush. Overcrush is really neat in this game, and a few characters have it, and you have ways to get it. Reckless Abandon is one of them here. Lethal Blow, move a target level 1 character dice from the field to the prep area, just boom, and then Heroes in the Half Shell. Last one target. Dice gets 2 attack until the end of the turn, and if it's a turtle, it also gets 2 defense. Those are the basic action cards. Very simple. I love the art so far, and let's get into the meat and potatoes, which are the characters. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to start with the best turtle, Raphael, and all the turtles have just a blank card, which just allows them to come out at a cheaper cost, and Raph is a 5/5 on his final level, which is pretty cool, but then he has this one here. Whenever a different character dice attacks, deal 1 damage to target character dice. He's going to ping people, and that's what Raph does. Turtle power is almost on all the turtles. I think it's on all of them. While Raphael is active, all the shell, the turtle character dice, cost 1 less. So if it has this affiliation, it costs 1 less. Pretty cool, right? Let's move on to the leader, Leonardo again. He's just blank right here. But he is a 4/6. Of course, his defense is going to be a little more than Raphael's because he's a thinker, but he's not going to attack as hard because Raphael's the best. Again, you get another turtle Leonardo right here. But this turtle power here is different. While Leonardo is active, when different turtle character dice of yours would be KO'd, instead KO Leonardo dice and gain 2 life. He's sacrificing himself. But this one right here makes up for the turtle power where you want to make your turtles cheaper. Leonardo has one of those. He, again, is pretty pricey, but whatever. He's Leonardo. You're going to want him. Donatello here also has the turtle power where it makes things cheaper for the turtles. He has a really lengthy one here. While Donatello is active, when you field a different shell character, spin that die up 1 level. So it makes him come out at a higher level. And then, of course, his just basic one here. He is a 5/5, just like Raphael. He's a kind of an all-arounder. But Michelangelo, he also has a turtle power where it makes things cheaper. And his basic little whatever, he is a 6/4. So he doesn't care about defense, which is totally Mikey. And this one here is whenever a different shell character, turtle character is blocked, spin Michelangelo character dice up 1 level. For each Michelangelo dice already up at the 3rd level, instead not KO a target blocking character dice. So he's pretty nice. This is probably my favorite turtle card to play, and this one is Party. I love the flavor text. Now we're going to go into the last of the good guys, the few ones here. We have 2 different types of splinters. I'm not going to go over their text too much, but they are different dice and different numbers as well. He's a 7/7 on his last one here, and this one is from the comic book. As you see, that's from the cartoon, and he is a 7/8. So I'm not really sure why they did this. There are 8 different villains, which I'm going to go over in a second, and there are only 7 different possibilities for the good characters. So if you're playing bad versus good, you're going to have to pick one of these splinters. I don't know why they did that. Maybe in later expansions they're going to add more, but I guess they just want to give you a variety. So there's that. Splinter is cool. He's going to buff the turtles as you would think he would. We're going to move on to Casey Jones here. He's pretty cheap all around, and he is a 4/3 on his final level, but he does stuff against villains mostly. If your life is total is less than 15, Casey Jones blocks or is blocked by a sidekick or a villain, gain 1 life. So it's kind of random because you never know when your life's going to be down, so you're going to have to plan for that strategy to have Casey Jones in there, but he is cheap, and it's good to have colors in your bag. The very last good person we're going to go over is April. Now, she is considered an ally. I haven't gone over allies yet, but basically they're considered to be sidekicks. and nothing else is really different, just terminology based. You can attack with her the same way and use her ability, but she's going to buff the turtles with defense, attack, and such. Her final level is only a 1/5, but she is a good like defensive character. So those are all the good characters that we're going to go over. Now let's get into the villains, and I'm pretty excited about this. The first one I have up is Bebop. Now, he is a pretty strong one, a 4/7, and he's always going to work better with Rocksteady. While Rocksteady is active, Bebop gets +2 attack and defense. And it's the same way here, deals damage, and this one here allows you to show an energy phase, and your roll and a reroll step. While Rocksteady is active, you may reroll Rocksteady if you want to, basically. And if it rolls an energy phase, then you lose, but it's a gamble. You can try to get a better Bebop. Now here's Rocksteady to pair with him, and he again is going to work best with Bebop. While Bebop is active, Rocksteady gets +2 defense and attack. While Bebop is active, Rocksteady gains Overcrush. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. He is a 6/4, so he's pretty strong. Then we have Baxter Stockman, not one I would pick, but he's a decent one. I love his dice. Pink dice are always pretty cool. When fielded, you may purchase a Mouser dice for 1 and immediately roll it. So that's why Baxter's in it, because the Mousers are in the game. Now, Baxter is a 4/5 on his final level, and the Mousers, how adorable are these tiny little robots, but deadly. They're pretty cool. They're cheap, 3/3 at the very end, but Mousers get attack 1 and defense, while other players have an active character with the when fielded ability. So it's going to be kind of subjected to your opponent's deck, so hopefully they have these characters, and Mouser is going to be doing stuff off our other cards. Then we're going to move over to the robot. I don't know much about him. He's just simple 5/3 with no ability, but then he has this one right here. While he's active, other villains and turtle characters get +1 attack, so he might help out your opponent as well. Then we move on to Krang. Yes, he has Regenerate. Regenerate, you re-roll the dice if it dies. Really cool. And he is a 5/9. Just, a wall of a character. And he has text here. When fielded, move all sidekicks from your opponent's use pile and prep area to their bag. So he's taking everything and putting it back in your bag. I think that's funny, but he's super expensive. So we're going to move over to the last two villains. First, the Foot. And I love the Foot in this game because they have Swarm. Basically, when you draw a Foot dice and you have Swarm, you draw another dice and you just get to keep it. Again, remember, I love rolling dice. And the other two are allies. I'm not fancy to them. I don't like using these, so I'm not even going to go over them. You want to get the one with Swarm, trust me. And then we move on to the big boss man himself, Shredder, and he's going to be effective against turtles and extremely powerful, 8/8, but he's super expensive. Foot, join me. When fielded, move all villain dice from your use pile to your prep area. I mean, what? I mean, he's going to just bring out, if you can get him out, he can be deadly. There are other ones here. While Shredder is active, each player loses 1 life at the start of their turn. But this one here, when he hits turtles, the opponent loses 3 life. So those are basically all the character cards and what comes in this set. You've seen everything, but I'm going to show you a little bit on how teams work and just give you a flavor of that, and then I'll give you my grade and what I think of the set. So let's go do that now. So I'm just going to do a briefing on this. If you know how to play Dice Masters, you just need a briefing on how to play teams. Basically, everybody's going to have their own set of teams. If you play a full game of 8, each player is going to pick 4 different cards and get their dice, and then the other player is going to do that. And this is what you can draw from. You can never buy your teammates' characters, just like you can't buy your opponent's characters. So you want to pick well. You're also going to pick a basic action card, 1 apiece, and then you get your dice and so forth and so on. You start with your life, and the only thing that is different is that you can attack multiple people instead, but you can't attack, say, him and him with 1 dice. You can assign different attackers in each direction, but it really is going to boil down to being the same game. There are things that are like associated with like Dragon's Breath that when you do that, it's not going to knock out the whole board is just going to be specific players. So if you do Dragon's Breath, it's not going to knock out everybody's players. If you know what Dragon's Breath is, it's basically like a ping AoE on the whole board. They'll have to pick a player to do that. So there's little nuances like that, but beyond that, you have freedom to do whatever you want, attacking wise, and or trying to power up the things up with like the Marvel sets when it comes to doing double powers. I can't remember what that's called, when hero powers, whenever two people, hero power, attack. If your opponent has one of those characters that, helps you in that circumstance, you can use his, kind of power or thing like that. You're just basically leeching off of that a little bit. But again, it all sounds convoluted. It's really much easier once you start to play, but that is basically how team play is going to play, an alternative of the actual 1v1 versus players of Dice Masters. So now you know how to play teams with a very, very simple, basic overlay. Now let me tell you what I think about this set and tell you if it's one of my favorites. Let's go. Alright, let me start by saying that was a very basic and broad overview of team play when it comes to Dice Masters, but it's not much different than the actual player versus player. I just wanted to give you an overview of how that kind of works. I just want to do a sum up on that because this set actually pushes team play, and as you've seen in the video, you didn't see any overview. If you want to learn how to play Dice Masters, this is not the video for you. Of course, there is a video, a tutorial, to show you how to play Dice Masters in its entirety. But with all that being said, let's give Tmnt Dice Masters a grade for itself. Now, this set I like, and I gave it a 92%, which is higher than the Yu-Gi-Oh set and up there with the rest of the Dice Masters sets or expansions, whatever you want to call them. But the thing that really put this over the top, being one of my go-to sets when it comes to Dice Masters and theme-wise, is that it is all here. You don't have to go find other cards in different packs. I've said this before. And there are no different colors, reds or yellows. It's all gray. They give you everything that you need. Now, they did give you 2 splinters, and that was kind of odd, but that's a minor quibble. I'm not going to put it down for that because you can just throw one of the comic book heroes into this set very easily because these are comic book characters after all. Now, with that being said, is this one of the sets that can be incorporated to the other Dice Masters sets? And that is a yes. But, as in all other sets, there are terminology kind of text that correlate to specific characters like turtles. So you're not going to find any turtles in the DC set, but you can play with this. The villains work out more, I think, if you want to incorporate them, because the V is all over Dice Master sets, so they're easy to put into any other theme. Now, if you're trying to be thematic and you just want to take the good side and the bad side, I would say that it's easier for the bad side, the evil characters, to win over the turtles, but if you play the right cards and a good strategy, you can overcome the Shredder and the Foot. The thing is about having everything in a set also is this is wide open for expansions and just certain cards that they give you flat out, and you buy them at one set price and you have everything. And this is kind of like a courier set, like I said before. So that's pretty cool. It's weird to spend so little on a Dice Master set that just came out and have everything. I'm still kind of baffled about it, but I think this is the next logical progression step in the Dice Masters series. So I love the subject matter. Turtles, I've been a fan of Turtles since I was a little kid. I went to the live action concert, I've watched the cartoons, I've read the comics. I've kind of stayed update on the new cartoons and, well, the Michael Bay movies. We're not going to go into that. Oh, and P.S. I wanted to add a little bit. Upon further inspection while playing more of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I came across the fact that, the turtles help each other out, but that means the turtles help each other out. Your opponent, if they have turtles, if you're doing half evil and half turtle on each team, all the turtles are going to do all the abilities, like they're all going to become cheaper and they're all going to do like damage. Whatever happens on the card is going to be associated throughout the whole game. That is the same thing that the Justice League did. So when you played Aquaman, all the Justice League characters became one less. Unless it says it on your side only, then it applies to the whole table. So there's something, I mean, about that I like. The powers and the turtle powers, but that's something you got to keep in mind. And one of the things that made this set, I think, more isolated to just the turtles, and or just trying to make sure that your player doesn't have the benefits and keep that to a minimum. So that's a little quibble I want to put in there, and a tidbit upon further investigation. I also didn't tell you if this was my one of my favorite or my favorite sets. It is, I would say, at least among the top 5. There are lots of sets out, and I would always play this set anytime it's busted out if anyone wants to, because it is a fun one. Just not my favorite, but a good one nonetheless. Back to the review. So all in all, 92% is what I settled on. I like the dice scheme colors. I love the production. I like the new idea that they're coming up with Dice Masters. More Dice Masters is always a good thing in my book. And I like the fact that it's all packaged right here. So I would say that I would recommend this for maybe a Dice Masters novice. Not the first set you get, but if the subject matter is that they like the turtles the most, then yes, this could easily get somebody into the game. But I still think there are Marvel sets out there that are a bit simpler and easier to teach a learning curve of Dice Masters. But I do recommend this for anyone who wants to get into Dice Masters or already is. So, with that being said, that is what I think of the new TMNT Dice Masters set. Stay tuned for the rest of the Dice Masters review that I'm going to be pumping out as fast as I possibly can. But thank you so much for watching today's video and or review. And I want to send out a huge thank you to WizKids. I'm so ecstatic that you're supporting the channel, and they did provide me with this review copy so I could get this out ASAP, which is what I want to do with the Dice Masters. So, until the next time that I see you, please like and hit subscribe at the end of the video here, and have a great rest of your day and a great time with all the Dice Masters that you play. I'm Dave, and I'm out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ninja, Ninja, Rap, Ninja, Ninja, Rap.